Hi. You probably clicked onto this video because you're struggling from a conflict. You're feeling betrayed, sadness, anger, all at the same time. And this conflict may come from your significant other, your friends, loved one, or someone just close to you. And these feelings of betrayal, sadness, and anger can lead to a very confusing mind. And what do I mean by that is that somehow through these uncomfortable situations, you find that you forget what you yourself would do or what advice you would give to another person if they were in your shoes right now. It's because that these feelings of betrayal, sadness, and anger are very heavy emotions that bogs your brain into thinking what is right and what is wrong. Maybe it's also because that you have this sense of goal that you want to return these feelings to the person that did you wrong. And that leaves you in question. What should I do? And how would they react in a certain way? And at that point, you catch yourself that your actions are on chokehold by this person's perception of you. You clicked onto this video because you're well aware of all these and you don't want to do it. You don't want to ruin or damage this relationship that's already seemingly broken. You don't just want to cause any more harm to this person because maybe you value the memories that you've shared with this person. Maybe it's an experience, or maybe you just value the lesson out of it. I don't know. Maybe that's just your morals. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, you're choosing a good path. I'm not going to say right path because right or wrong ethics are a whole other topic. But here you are watching a video on how to be a better person. But first, let's define what a better person would be. See if my definition fits your definition of being a better person. If not, you can click away. A better person, in my opinion, has three main qualities. First off is empathy, the ability to understand where a person is coming from, putting yourself into their shoes. For some, it can be traumatic shoes. And that's probably the reason why they act a certain way. But some of you would argue that you wouldn't do that despite the traumatic experience if it were to happen to you. But I beg to differ. Because no, if you were to experience the same thing since birth, your cognitive experience, everything from the people surrounding you, the setting, the voices, the songs, everything. If you had the same experience as that person since birth, your cognitive experience, such as your emotional reactions towards certain things, more than likely would be the same. Sometimes you'll come across people that instead of trying to fix the problem, they'd rather point fingers, even though there's no one really to blame about the situations, but they'd rather point fingers. And you'd wonder, like, what had happened to this person in the past that led them or caused them to acting this way? And the same goes for people that yell at customer service in public or even at home. You just wonder, like, why are they doing this? It's kind of like a secondhand embarrassment, but they still do it. But my point is, having these type of questions help you understand where they're coming from. At most, if you can understand them, you can solve the problem with them and make this relationship that you have with this person maybe even better. Or if not, if you think it's hopeless, at most you can develop pity for them. Another qualification that I think a better person should have would be to be smart about it. In a way that instead of wasting your energy into this, you find ways to improve yourself or your relationship with them. You're thinking of ways on how to be efficient. It's a sense of efficiency to act upon your empathetic thoughts. That if it doesn't work out, you're smart enough to think that there's better opportunities for me out there. There's more people to meet, more circle that is more suited for you. And it's the truth, regardless. Being smart about it also means that if it doesn't work out, you're not trying to please this person anymore, and you're actively seeking growth. And you will find growth if you look for it. So, yeah, being smart, thinking about the situation in a way that you'd see how this can be beneficial for you. Maybe it's a lesson or whatnot, but basically, it's just a sense of efficiency to act upon your thoughts for the better of your livelihood. Third one, I think a better person should have is courage. Let's start with using courage when you're actually in the wrong in this situation. Courage in that instance would be to admit if you're in the wrong. May just say that you're automatically the better person when you try to admit that you're in the wrong. Why? It's because you already have all of these three qualities of a better person. I know that when people say that you're the better person, it's underwhelming because it sounds fake. But let me expound on that. If you already have all of these qualities and you're in the wrong, being courageous enough to admit that you're in the wrong means that you're having empathy. You understand that if you were in their shoes, you would feel the same way. Despite their reaction being not your fault, if you know you could have or should have done better due to their condition from their experience, which you now understand, you should have done better. And being in the courageous state to admit that you're in the wrong means that you're also smart enough in a way that you admit that this problem can be solved and can lead to a better relationship with this person. It pushes aside the phase where you try to figure out who's to blame because you're already smart enough to think that, oh, it's my fault. And if I want to make this relationship into something better with this person, let's try and fix this problem. And being courageous to admit that you're in the wrong means that you have the courage to say that you're open for correction. Not a lot of people can say that. People have so much pride, so much ego in them that they don't want to be wrong. That's just a fact for a lot of people. And if you have trouble with your ego, I think the best book to read about that is Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Basically, the book teaches you how being so full of yourself or ego can be a hindrance to your progression as a better person. Now, if you're the one in the right from this uncomfortable situation and the other party is no longer listening and only takes into account what they feel and not trying to hear out what you're saying, you have this courage to walk away. Walk away despite them talking shit. Walk away despite throwing out negativity, throwing out all the shades out there for you. Maybe they're trying to ruin your reputation or whatnot. They're just talking shit. But you're courageous enough to walk away from that because you understand where they're coming from. Maybe it's from a traumatic past. And you're smart enough to think that staying in this conversation that is one-sided will no longer benefit you. And that you're just courageous enough to face a whole new life without them. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's not satisfying enough. You want them to suffer. And to that, I say, okay, I'm not going to push empathy anymore because obviously, if you're thinking about them suffering, you're not thinking about empathy. But just think about this. If you walk away and they keep talking, you try to improve your life and they just keep talking, you're up here, but they're still here. Isn't that satisfying enough? Their obsession with you is on a level that their anger has built so much upon, and that they would regret that they didn't become the better person. And now they're left out. And until they do become or try to be the better person for themselves as well, your level right here and their level right here will always remain the same unless they do something about it. And if they do, and your paths come across once more in your life, it's up to you to decide whether you'll accept them again or just say that they should have done better in the first place. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.